Hey everybody, hi, can you hear me? Are we all good? All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so welcome to this webinar. My name's Ingress. For those of you who don't know me, I recognize some of the names popping up now, so thank you so much for joining. Always lovely to spend some time with you. So today's fascinating topic is how to awaken your feminine power. So we're going to learn a little bit about how we can be powerful but still remain in our feminine. Please, at any point, feel free to unmute and ask a question. You don't need to raise your hand or ask by message. Just jump on in. I think it's always really lovely to have questions that we can share, because everyone who's listening often will learn something as well. So let's begin this evening's topic. Oops. There we go. So the first thing I want to make clear is that right now is probably the best time to live as a woman. Compared to decades past, we actually are in a really, really strong position. Never, ever another time in history have women had more rights, more possibilities, and more opportunities. And you can just look around the world to see that. These incredible female world leaders who are just creating a really level playing field for us women to be really successful and powerful in this world alongside men. This is something that's really unique, never really seen before. So really celebrate the fact that you are living in these times as a woman. And getting power from your feminine, I want to make it clear, it is nothing about feminism. This is nothing to do with focusing on the inequalities between men and women at all. It's something completely different. I'm going to come from energy. Where is our female energy? What traits do we demonstrate, and how energetically does that affect our relationships with every other person that we encounter? So it's all about connecting to your feminine power, which is very different to a man, and not trying to be equal to a man, but using your power to be on the same level playing field as men. So because we're not the same as men, you know, it's never going to be a direct competition. It's impossible for us to directly compete, because our traits are so very different. Our strengths are so very different when we look at the essence, when we look at the energy of who we are. And to be quite honest, who would want to be a man? I'm absolutely so happy being a woman with movement and flow and creativity, and being able to wear pretty things and come through an emotional roller coaster ride. I actually really celebrate being a woman. Men, they're pretty basic, hey? No offense, any guys listening. So all of your power as a woman lies actually in your feminine aspects. It's those aspects of self that create the power. And I love Wonder Woman. I remember her from when I was growing up, the original one. Such a powerful, forceful role model for women, showing that we can be successful in life, but we also can evoke our superpowers to take on the world. And I think she represents a really positive image of women, and something that's inside all of us at all times. We've just disconnected from her. So what does it mean to be in the masculine or in the feminine? So let's have a look at the differences between that, because it's not about, you know, being more manly or more womanly. It's about your essence, your energy. So let's talk about the meaning of being in the masculine and being in the feminine. So coming to the onion principle, I know this principle is used in a lot of different modalities for teaching purposes, but it is such a good one, especially when it comes to our masculine and feminine energy. So basically, when we're born, whoever you are, male or female, it doesn't matter. You, at your core, you have a certain amount of masculine and feminine energy. Every person has both when they're born. This is our core essence. We are some masculine, some feminine. Then what happens is that as we start to grow up, rather than be true to that core. Because of life, we end up starting to put layers on of masculine and feminine energy. So I'll use myself as an example, a prime example. When I was young, like really young, I was so into ballet. You know, I loved the color pink. I was always being so creative, always making things. And then I hit about 7 or 8, and I realized that I actually also wanted to get more of my dad's attention. So I became a tomboy. I put on a layer, my first masculine layer. So at the core of me was this really, really girly girl. But to get my dad's attention, I wanted I needed to do something else. And so I started climbing trees. I started riding bikes. I was always covered in bruises. So there's Ingrid, the essence is feminine. There I go, my first layer, tomboy. You then go into school and, you know, I was playing all the sports, but then I realized actually the sporty girls aren't getting attention from boys. So what did? I didn't come backwards into my feminine essence. I actually put another layer on now, masking the tomboy that was masking my core. So now I have this, you know, girly teenager appearance. And then I realized when I was going to university that I wanted to be a lawyer, and that's what I was going to do. To do that, I needed to be competitive, hardworking. And so rather than come back one layer, I actually just put another layer on me, now becoming back into my masculine. So now I go through law school. I get my first job as a lawyer. Everything's going really well, but I'm not really satisfied. So I quit. I buy a one-way ticket to study spirituality in India. Feminine energy. And so it goes on, and we are constantly putting layers upon layer of our masculine and feminine, completely losing touch with our core essence. And what we end up with is this flimsy outer layer, not knowing who we are, so brittle on the outside, we can just, you know, break, and it makes no sense, and we don't feel comfortable, and we don't feel fully encased. We just don't know who we are anymore. So what the important thing is about starting to reconnect with your feminine power is getting back to your essence, which will be some feminine and some masculine. Okay, feel free to ask any questions, guys. So let's look at some of the masculine and feminine traits. Now, some of these are going to be very, very obvious. So when we're in our masculine modes, when we're in masculine energy, we're very strong, controlling, focused, powerful, centered. We're very purpose-driven. This doesn't mean only men feel this. We as women also get to be this, but it's our masculine energy that we come to in order to be this. So it also, you know, we make big things small, you know, it's all about targets. It's about, you know, it's all about doing, all about action, all about achieving, all about competition. That's what it's like to be in your masculine energy. So if you recognize these traits in you, it's not a criticism at all. We need these things, but they are masculine traits, masculine energy traits. So if we want to be in our feminine, we mustn't spend too long in this trait field. And what happens is that if you're in your masculine energy, it ends up that, you know, if you're criticized or if you feel like you're being controlled, you're actually going to really lose relationships. Because when we're in our masculine, we really fear being criticized, we fear being controlled, and we fear being shut out. And so we can actually end really good relationships when we're in the masculine. When we're in our feminine energy, things are the complete opposites. I remember a book, I think it was in the 90s, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and they did actually get that right. We are from different planets. It's incredible. So we are free flowing, we're open, we're radiant, we're a little bit wild, we're even destructive. The goddess Kali, I absolutely love her, the Hindu goddess. She's standing there, she's holding a severed head of a man in one hand, and she represents our destructive force, which is not a negative thing. It's actually a positive thing, that we understand the power of destruction and the power we have to create and build. It's all about music and dance and wants and emotions and talking and sharing and all these incredible things that you know, we resonate with. Oh, it's all like dressing up and yeah, all movement and flow, just these really beautiful ways of connecting with people and being part of something. But when we're too much in our feminine, we can really kill our relationships if we feel that we're not seen, or we feel unheard or misunderstood. It takes us into quite a kind of paranoid state when we're too much in our feminine when it comes to relationships. So let's go forward then and look at what is masculine energy. So I just explained what typical traits are, so you can start looking out for those in your behaviors. Because if your natural essence is feminine and you are adopting more masculine traits, you are not going to be comfortable with who you are at that point, because it's not your natural state of being. So you need to switch into your feminine. I talk about that a bit later. So let's look now, what is masculine energy? So when we talk just about energy, the masculine wants the feminine to completely surrender and fill him with energy. That's what he's looking for. Now, what's really interesting, I do sometimes some life coaching, holistic life coaching for couples. And this one client I was seeing, on his list of what his ideal woman was, it was submissive. Another man said obedient. And they were worried about saying that out loud. But what they actually did was connect to their truth. Because really, in the ultimate masculine energy, the masculine wants the feminine to surrender. And that's not a bad thing, because it allows us to surrender. It allows us to relieve ourselves of the burden of this masculine world we live in. And so masculine energy is always on a mission and a quest for freedom. It's like seeking relief after a battle or achieving a goal. This is what it feels like. Yeah, I've done it. It's all about power and competition and achieving. Masculine energy thrives when living on the edge. Now, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. I love all these sports. I love doing things that take me to my edge, very masculine quality. So I do really enjoy some of these masculine energy traits, but it doesn't serve me as a woman. So not as a woman, sorry, when I want to be in my feminine. And so with the man, he constantly wants to be challenged and he wants to win. So this is where we sometimes have problems when we're also in our masculine, because we both want to win. We both want to be challenged. And if you stretch too much, we can often lose relationships from both trying to challenge too much. So the masculine essence, so that core essence, comes from power, if I had to say it in one word. A man is basically nothingness. He is emptiness. He is pure presence and consciousness. And what that means is that it's as though for a man, he is walking on the edge of a knife, just trying not to fall off either side, just completely focused on walking forward in a straight line. This is a masculine essence. It's all about direction, how to keep moving. It's about doing, where us women, it's more about being. If someone with masculine essence isn't doing, he or she does not feel whole, not feel true to themselves. So masculine essence, just imagine a mountain standing tall and strong, completely unshakable. And they trust, they know they are consistent and constant, and they trust in that. And they also surrender to it and know that it will stand strong no matter what. It's a complete knowledge and acceptance of their strength and power. So this would be the ultimate masculine essence I'm describing. But, you know, reading it and speaking about it, I can even feel some of that really does reflect in me. So we've looked at masculine energy. Now let's look at feminine energy. So feminine energy is not power. That's wrong. I wrote that wrong. It's feminine energy is actually flow. It's flow and movement. It's fullness and radiance and life force. We are actually the life force energy. In Hinduism, we have Shiva, who is the god of consciousness. He is everything and nothing at the same time. And then we have Shakti, who is the movement and flow and energy. And it's only when these two forces of Shakti and Shiva come together that life springs into action. So we allow the masculine to grow and live and thrive by coming in with our feminine essence. Feminine energy is wild, it's instinctive, intuitive, and all women possess this ability to go into their wild and tamedness. And it's a really beautiful thing when you reconnect to it and step outside these societal norms that suggest we should behave in one way. We at our essence are wild and uncontrolled. And we know things without really knowing how we know. And this is our intuition. We have this so ingrained in us as women, and yet we tend to disconnect from it and go with the logical thinking, which is masculine energy. So that all-knowingness, that first feeling, that always knowing you were right if you had followed your first feeling. So women, we're like the ocean, like we're vast, we fill empty spaces, we purify darkness, and we're home to a diversity of life. And just like the waves on an ocean, we are in a constant dance. We are just having a ride up and down. In fact, I like to say that women are exactly like the ocean. We are flat, calm sometimes. Other times we are all over the place. We have a tsunami. We have a crazy electrical storm, and then we're completely calm again. And then we want to push something this way and then decide to push it that way. And then we go crazy in a storm again, and then we're calm again. All of this usually happens in 1 hour, these crazy waves of emotions that we go through as women, and that's completely normal. This is feminine energy at its essence. So if you picture us as the ocean, the men as the boat, all the men want to do, all the masculine energy, sorry, I apologize, all the masculine energy wants to do is move forward. The feminine energy is women. We are just pushing, moving, creating storms, and we are just doing all the other things, creating chaos and havoc for this poor boat that just wants to go from A to B. So when you realize our power to move the masculine, to take the masculine wherever we choose to take the masculine, we have our power right there. It's like a rock in a river. The rock in the river is the masculine. We come down. We don't get stopped by that rock. We work out ways to go around it as we move around, create new paths, find new ways to get around that solid mass of energy, which is the masculine energy. So our power is infinite and it's phenomenal. And so just always know that you are the ocean, you are the river, and you can move mountains. You can do anything you choose by being in your feminine, which is creative, finding solutions in creative ways, always moving, always flowing, allowing the emotional ride of the waves to come and go, allowing the calmness to lead into the storm, because this is what allows you to get around everything you need to in life. So feminine energy is not about doing, it's all about being. And it's a state of constant play when we're in our true feminine essence. And this is why we have so much fun when we're little girls playing. We are in a constant state of play, and we can recapture that now. We can go back into our fairy tale daydreams and be in a state of play when we stop coming from the unnatural masculine essence. When we come into a place of creation and movement and flow, it's playful and fun, and dance and music is very much part of this. Daydreaming is part of it, visualizing is part of it. Creating this all wonderful world that you want is very much being in your feminine energy. And the feminine energy wants to surrender, and it actually wants to be conquered. So this is a little bit of a sometimes difficult one to accept. We want to surrender and we want to be conquered when we are in our ultimate female energy. We want to give up any kind of control. We want to be able to just lay back and enjoy the craziness of life, the world, and create havoc, create situations, and just enjoy the experience of it. So in our true feminine essence, it's wonderful to be with a man who wants to take control and make the decisions, because it allows us to re-enter our true state. We also want to dance in ecstasy, and we want to be ravished by the masculine. We don't want someone to just go, oh, your hair looks pretty. We want someone to grab us by the hair and kiss us passionately, right? We want to be ravished. We want to feel the ecstasy of being with other people, whether that's intimately or socially. We need that when we're connected to our feminine energy. And so the feminine essence is all about radiance. This is your key words to get into your feminine, to really connect to that truth that's deep within you, that's been hidden by all those years of layering. So radiance is the key, and radiance is effectively how brightly you shine from your heart, from your true self, from that center point within you. So it's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of total acceptance for yourself, and just pushing that out into the world. No matter what's going on, no matter what is happening in your life, when you come into your feminine and you radiate your power through love and acceptance, rather than controlling the situation, watch the magic happen. Because when you get into your feminine and take on all her forms, from the destructive to the nurturing, this is the most inspiration other women and men will have from you. They will be drawn to you. You will be magnetic to these people, just like Wonder Woman. She's absolutely magnetic to both men and women. And you actually become irresistible to both men and women as well. You become really attractive, and people want to be around you when you radiate your power through self-nurturing, self-love practices. So let's have a look now on some more about radiance. So how do you get this radiance then? You can live to your full expression of your feeling of life. So how do you feel about the things that are happening, and putting yourself into situations that feel really good and nourishing and nurturing for you? And don't hold back from expressing and living your truth. It's very masculine to actually not speak our truth. As women, we want to be talking a lot anyway, generally. And so when we express our absolute truth, our soul knowledge, our higher consciousness knowledge, the things that feel right to say, oh my goodness, just watch life flow through you, because speaking that truth is such high vibration, and it comes from heartfelt love for self and others, that you radiate like crazy. And we know that radiance is a key factor to attract the most loving, incredible relationships into your life. And it's how brightly and how widely you shine from your essence. So really pushing this radiance out, not just forward, but into your entire energy field, your entire aura, up, down, side, back, front, just pushing out this loving radiance that you are naturally. And this essence is all light. And when we come into our light self, this empowers us and others. We shine our light outwards. We will light up other people. We will light up a whole room of darkness by coming from a really radiant place. You know what it's like when you first fall in love, and you're looking around and you're skipping and everything is bright and beautiful. That's because you are radiating. and everyone is coming to you and the things are good, and you know, everything happens in a really beautiful way once you radiate love. And you can radiate in the way that you move, you know, soft and sensual, and feel in your body, just not using your legs to walk, but actually, what's it feel like? How does my body feel when I walk? You know, all the bits, the muscles and the wobbly bits, it's all who you are as women. This is what we are. We're a bit of everything. It's how we smile, how we always can light up a room with our smile when it's heartfelt. Coming from the heart is so important to radiate your true feminine essence. And really importantly, it's all about how you love yourself and open yourself up to receiving love. Because a lot of the women I see here since I've moved to Dubai are just imbalanced on the left receptive side of their heart chakra and of their whole energy body. This receiving side has somehow got imbalanced and not in flow, and even blocked in some cases, because we're just giving and not remembering that we need to give to self first. Because once we light ourselves up, then it's a cycle, the snowball starts, and more lightness and good things start flowing to you. So when you're in your ultimate feminine radiance and your feminine form, you become an absolute inspiration, and you become a power of life. You are the movement and flow of life anyway, as a woman. When you connect to that, the power is electric. When you take responsibility for moving your life in the way that you want to, going around those obstacles fluidly, just like the feminine essence is. Watch how you take back power of your life. It's incredibly powerful, this stuff. So the feminine represents life in all its flow, all its passion, and all its danger. And that feels good, hey? So any questions on the masculine and feminine traits or essence? Are we all good? A lot of information, I know, but hopefully this is making sense to you. Because for me, once I've been studying masculine and feminine energy for a very long time, from all different types of spiritual systems, but it all comes down to the same thing, in my opinion, and that is that we are a bit of both. And we need to play with that. So let me move on and talk about the polarities. So the polarity is the opposites of the same spectrum. So like heads and tails, darkness and light, yin and yang, sun and moon. So as a human, our essence, our energy essence, is both masculine and feminine. So every man and every woman has both masculine and feminine energy. It doesn't make them gay or straight or, you know, anything like this, stronger or weaker. No, it's just their essence, their soul. It's just what energy that's made out of. However, most women do identify more with their feminine essence, and men tend to identify more with their masculine essence. So the more you're in your feminine, the more you will positively attract masculine men, and you'll work well with other women, because women, both in their feminine, connect completely. They just work in fluid motion together. But the more you turn into your masculine energy and connect with that, the more you're going to attract feminine men, and you're going to clash with masculine men and alpha females. So when you go into those traits and those energies and essences of masculine, controlling, decision-making, then and pushing forward, taking action, you're actually going to put off the men in your life. They're not going to feel attracted to you. They're going to feel in competition with you. So when we're looking at any relationships, whether you're seeking a relationship or you're already in a relationship, check in on how you are behaving and play a little game with it. Spend a whole day being as far into your feminine essence as you can. Look at all the traits I discussed and try and embody that. Watch how the men and alpha females as well react to you. it'll be completely different. You will be able to move around situations and get the outcome you want by harnessing the power of those feminine traits. Then on another day, spend a whole day connecting to your masculine energy. Bring that out to the front. Be decisive. Take all the action. Move forward constantly. Be controlling. See how your relationship with the men and strong females change in that day, for that day. And see how more feminine men will be coming up to you and attracted to your energy. It's a really interesting thing to play. You can even do it in shops. You know, go up to a counter when you're doing your weekly shop and act as though you're acting from masculine energy. Be very direct, very controlling, and see how they react to you on the checkout. And then do the same as a woman. Whenever I play this little game with myself to check in where my energy is, the cashier will always pack my bag when I'm in my feminine, and they leave all the stuff and start talking to the girl on the till next door when I'm in my masculine. It's so interesting. So you want to come from a place of understanding that you are responsible for whether you are connecting more to your masculine or more to your feminine essence and energy. And once you become aware of how people are reacting to you, you'll be able to use this in order to get everything that you want. And this is not manipulation in any way, because you're going to come from heart. You're going to radiate this. You're going to do what's right for you, which is the most important thing. What serves you? But just play both extremes so that you can understand it and feel the difference in the reactions you get from people. And then once you understand the difference within yourself, all you need to know is when to switch hats. When should I be in my masculine? When does that serve me? And when should I be in my feminine? When does that serve me? So we wear both hats all the time. We just need to know when to switch. And it's a constant dance of masculine and feminine. So I always like to think of it on a big orb. So we're born with, just say here, 50-50 masculine and feminine. Now, if I need to go and pay some bills and have an argument with someone because they haven't fixed my boiler, and then I have to go and pay the rent, and then I'm going to go and drive and get the car washed, I'm going to go whoosh into my masculine. That's going to push my feminine all the way down here. I'm probably 80% masculine now, 20% feminine. But then when I come home, I'm going to have a nice long shower. I'm going to get myself some, a cup of tea and some nice biscuits. I'm going to sit down in front of Grey's Anatomy. Whoa, I come very feminine. And now I'm about 80% feminine, 20% masculine. So I know when to come into both. Now, what is interesting is when we talk about relationships with the opposite energy. So let's just say, we're having a relationship with a man. Now, usually the woman is more feminine, the man is more masculine. So we start off here when we start this relationship. Then all of a sudden we know that we have to come into our masculine. We need to pay the bills. So we come up here. If your man stays also in masculine, now I have two men on the top of my orb, two masculine energies. What's going to happen? Both want to control, both want to make decisions. We're going to clash. So the man has to, at this point, naturally come down into a more nurturing place. So say, like make you a cup of tea while you pay the bills, or look after the kids, or do something that just doesn't compete with you, is enough for you guys to be in this balanced orb state. However, if your man doesn't move, you've got two choices now. You can stay in your masculine and know there's going to be some competition, because that's what masculine energy does. It knows nothing else. Or you at this point, who has awareness, who now knows the information, needs to come into their feminine to avoid any conflict. So it's about moving when you feel the conflict start. If you're too in your masculine, you are going to clash with other men in their masculine and women in their masculine. It can't be any other way. This is physics. So whenever you feel competition starting, come into your feminine. This will save so many relationships for you, whether they're with friends, intimate partners, family. If you choose to come from heart and move your energy and switch your hat when you feel that competition starting. Conversely, if your man is in super needy mode, very feminine, and you also stay in your natural feminine essence, oh, it's going to be icky. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be frustrating because there's nothing clear here. It's going to be all over the place, a bit emotional. Arguments will start because you're both in your feminine. So if your man, or the masculine energy in your life does need to be in the nurturing, so a bit needy, a bit emotional, come into your masculine, come into the decision making, come into the control, come into the rock that you are as well when you choose to be. And watch how he will love that. He does not want to be nurtured when he's in his feminine. He wants you to take control. So always picture, where am I on this orb? Because the only time I'm going to have balance in my life is when I am in the exact opposite to my masculine partner. So there are more and more men studying this field, and there are more and more conscious men. But what happens is, if you stay in your masculine and follow all those traits and ignore your feminine essence, you are going to eventually start attracting the exact opposite in their feminine. So you are going to attract really effeminate, needy guys, the ones that expect you to carry them. You effectively are forcing them into that, which sounds quite harsh, but because you have the awareness and they don't, it's often unaware that people move, because we have the physical, we have the attractions. Now we're talking about energy. This dance of energy is unconscious for most people. So very interesting when you just think about, where am I? And I'm responsible for being opposite on the orb to my man. So when you choose to be in your masculine, and we live in a masculine world, it puts us in our masculine energy, whether we like it or not. It's all commercial, material, achieving, getting, gaining, buying. Very masculine traits are our planet. The planet itself is very, very feminine, but what we've done to it, definitely masculine. So we're constantly living to masculine principles and masculine traits. But it's a real misconception that as a modern woman, that I can only be successful by kicking ass in business, because that's not true at all. Quite the opposite. Let the guys do all the kicking ass in business. Let them carry on. What you do is move around them. You find different creative ways to get better outcomes. So it's not about trying to be a man in business and kind of be in competition with them. It's about working out creative solutions so that you can move past them. And you know what? It's all this stress we take on, this actually chips away at your radiance. So every time you choose to go into that masculine energy and take on stress, which is masculine, because as women, we're surrendered and free when we're in our ultimate. So what you end up doing, you chip away at your radiance and you stop glowing. You stop glowing, you become a little bit less energetically attractive. And you're going to start losing your place on the orb again. And if you're depleted, if you feel overwhelmed, if you're struggling with life, kind of on the edge of that burnout, it means you're running on masculine energy. It's not your feminine energy that's creating all of this overwhelmment. It's your masculine, because it's the masculine that puts demands, conditions, and competition. Hello? Okay. Hi, has someone got a question? No, we're all good? Okay, no worries. So I want you now, ladies, to pay attention to when you're in your masculine. So if you've got a mission or a project that takes priority over fun, family, creativity, you're in your masculine. You need to control, you're making the decisions, you're success driven. It's all external fulfillment. You keep everyone on track. You overwork. You have perfectionism problems. This is you being in your masculine, in summary. So if you are identifying to any of these, just take responsibility that you are in your masculine and either stay there with awareness or choose to come back into a more balanced place with your feminine. Watch the magic happen when that happens. It's incredible. So how do you switch to your feminine? Embody those feminine traits that I talked about at the beginning. Oh, excuse me. Show up wild and messy, untamed and carefree. You know, one of the things that always makes me laugh is I always seem to have just got out of bed hair, no matter how many times I try and straighten it. It's because I'm just like, there's something about, you know, just that untamedness. It's really our essence. Being too manicured, too coiffeured is actually a very masculine thing. We also have to connect to our sensuality and our emotions. Oh my goodness, my throat's really gone here, excuse me. And you have to just, you know what, we only actually know a few words for emotions, and that's quite shocking. Go online, find yourself a list of emotions and start using those actual words. And you'll find that once you connect to the myriad of emotions that are out there, you will find yourself coming much more into your feminine essence. And sensuality, don't be afraid of it. It's good to be sexy and sassy at any time. We don't have to conform to these rules that society have set, because those are masculine. We don't conform to the masculine. It doesn't feel right. So get into that side of you. Allow yourself to show your soft pieces and the dark side of you. We are the ocean. We are a storm one minute and we are calm the next. Allow both of those to be seen with pride. We don't have to hide any part of us away. Without us, life would be really boring. And just know that you can't soften your heart, and the heart is where we radiate. You can't soften your heart by hardening your exterior. The heart needs to be open, and your exterior needs to be soft and willing to just express yourself as you feel like in the moment. Feminine energy can't be commanded if you're always stressed out. Stress is a masculine energy. So finding ways to de-stress is really important. And you also can't tap into your flow state by spending all day on Excel sheets. My sister is a prime example of this. Her teammates actually bought her Excel Queen mug because she's always on Excel. It's just incredible. That puts you completely into your masculine. So pay attention all the time. So you can also live your life and your dreams. This is a great way to reconnect to that core essence of your feminine energy. Just get out of your head and listen to that intuition, that first knowing, that all-knowing without knowing how you know is the right way. That is our feminine intuition completely. And every woman has this, regardless of their ratio of masculine and feminine energy. It's inherent in us. Stop rationalizing, overthinking, and overanalyzing everything. Just stopping that will already allow you to reconnect with your feminine. Trust in your intuition and allow yourself to flow with that decision. Give yourself permission to relax. Just relaxing is enough for you to get into that soft side of feminine energy. And do something creative. Try every day to do something. You know, I even make origami out of like crisp packets. You know, just do, if you've got a chance to create something, do something. Creativity is one of our greatest gifts as women, and it doesn't mean we have to be good at it. Just as long as we're making and doing is what it's about. It's creating that connection to our creative energy. Dance and move your body. One of the first things I do when I get up is put on a really cheesy song, and I will dance around my apartment every morning, just because it feels so good to do that. So try it. You will laugh and you will enjoy, and you will leave your apartment or your villa just feeling so much better because you've connected to your core feminine essence, and it feels natural and right again. And please work on this self-nurturing, self-love, and treat yourself more. There is nothing selfish in treating yourself. That can be a walk on the beach, or, you know, going for a champagne brunch on your own. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you are self-nurturing, self-loving, and treating yourself better, watch how your feminine essence just flows and grows. So the main message for me is stop searching outside of yourself. There is nothing to be found out there, I promise you. I spent years doing it when I worked as a lawyer in London, in Bristol, and over in Australia as well. It doesn't exist. The only thing you need to do is recognize this power that comes through you. And so whether this you're looking for love or a career change, or, you know, your life's purpose, it's all there. You've just disconnected from your all-knowingness, and you just need to reconnect to that. Because what happens when we are not connected to our feminine aspect, when we don't feel fulfilled in our feminine essence, what we tend to do is go search for substitutes. And more often than that, that's food, cheesy movies. We're going to look at soap operas, get obsessed with reality TV, get obsessed with our pets. We'll even get obsessed with cleaning the house, anything, because we are not honoring our feminine aspect. So if you find that you are spending more time doing any of these things than looking after yourself, it means you're searching outside to reconnect to feminine energy. And it's another reason why we'll make do with men who are not worthy of us, or who don't validate us, or step over our boundaries. We will put up with these weak-willed men, these men who are not good for us, because we are searching outside for that radiant love that actually is within us. So by opening up fully to your feminine energy, you will feel fulfilled in nearly every aspect of your life. It will change everything when you realize that that energy comes from within you, and as a result of that, everybody is attracted to you. Everybody wants to be around you. It's absolutely so powerful, so much more powerful than the masculine controlling energy. So please do stop searching and just practice radiating your feminine energy. It's the most powerful thing you have. And trust that you can be so in your feminine while still being strong, powerful, and successful. You can be both. Just think of that orb. Where am I? Where do I need to be right now? Masculine or feminine energy, and always coming back to that balanced state where you just feel so powerful, expressing your truth, which is movement, flow, creativity, love, all of these wonderful expressive things that you are at your essence. So here I'm going to end on what is an ultimate female there, a feminine. So this is someone who absolutely just completely relaxes into their feminine self. They express themselves with their feminine energy traits. And they're so happy to just shine their natural radiance through love, and opens up to experiencing themselves fully, follows their intuition, and trusts themselves because they are grounded in certainty. This is who you can become just by reconnecting to your feminine essence. You are so powerful, it's incredible. So do we all remember this one, right? We all remember her. She's still in there. So just go and get her. Just go find her, reconnect with her. And from tomorrow onwards, or even tonight onwards, just live again with her at your core and radiate that wildness out to the world, and watch how your life changes for the better. So that's me done. Here's a little bit about the things I do at Illuminations on JLT. Does anyone have any questions? No, we're all quiet. Anyone want to share any experiences? No. A lot of shy people today. Well, you know, I hope that I've you know, got you thinking, hopefully get you moving a bit more into accepting your feminine energy and understanding how powerful that really can be, and creating a life for yourself that will be magical and, you know, really powerful way to live. And using, you know, your knowledge now, your knowledge of am I in my masculine or feminine, to heal and grow any relationships you're in, just watching where your man is and then moving to join him on the opposite side of the orb. It takes practice. But us as women, we are so happy to move. We are so happy to flow. We are so happy to change our perspectives when we're in our feminine, that all of a sudden your man is now thinking, hey, I'm starting to enjoy this relationship. And then the attention you get is what you were seeking all along. This is absolutely magical stuff that is available to you all the time, so long as you come with awareness into every relationship, not just intimate relationships. So practice on everyone you see, whether it's man or woman, someone in the shop or someone you know really well. Practice being in your feminine, practice moving and switching your masculine and feminine hats, and see how much control and power you now have over your happiness and balance in life. It's powerful. So please feel free to speak up. We have a few more minutes. Otherwise, I'll let you know what's going on. So I've got quite a few things going on the next month or so. So it's World Meditation Day soon. So on the 21st, I'll be doing a free online meditation, and it's going to be a little bit, I'll talk about our higher self and our consciousness, and then I'll do a 30 to 40-minute meditation on expanding your consciousness and connecting to higher consciousness. It's a really beautiful guided visualization meditation. My Reiki Level 2 course is on this weekend, but it's full already. So the next one will be in July, I believe. Then Tony Marie and I. Tony Marie is an amazing therapist in Dubai. We've got together. She comes from more of a psychology. She's a published author. She comes from more psychology and based understanding of masculine and feminine. And we're doing a 2-day workshop on your power. And this will be from both the energetic perspective that I come from, but also from Tony's more psychology background and training. So we really look at how you can empower yourself, understand what wounds us, what triggers us, what sabotages us as women, and how we can move into a much more balanced state of being by accepting our wounds and so on. It's a 2-day course, a lot of activities, a lot of information. It's going to be incredible. I'm very excited to be doing that with her on the 28th and 29th of May. I've got mindfulness meditation online and on site at the beginning of June. And then I'm running my brand new meditation certified course, and that will be on the 1st of June. It is certified. Level 1 is for foundation and beginners for yoga, or those looking to get deeper into their practice. And I'll be teaching about different methods of active and passive meditation, as well as the basics, like how to sit still and how to quieten the mind, and also going through quite a lot of mindfulness practices to bring into your daily life. That's a full day course, 10 till 6 on the 4th of June. It's going to be an incredible experience for sure. And my second brand new course, Crystal Healing and Chakra Balancing, again, a certified course. Level 1, again, is going to be about understanding the basics of crystals, crystal healing, and also learning a lot more about chakras and how chakras affect our experience on a daily basis, and how we can bring crystals and chakras into our daily life in order. Then I've got Reiki level 3, and then amazing on the 24th of June. I'm so excited. We've got a 4-hour dinner retreat at the farm, and it's for the strawberry moon, which is a full moon, but it's going to be bright red in color, hopefully, if we get to see it that evening. I'm sure we will. And this is with a friend of mine called Amanda Lee Falcon, who is a composer. She's written a whole which she wrote in collaboration with NASA scientists who have contributed to it. And she will be not only playing some of that music, she will be explaining the spiritual journey and the connection between the outer realms and the inner realm that is affected by her music. A whole beautiful retreat from 5 until 9 p.m, including dinner and meditations and also activities and workshops. And then Reiki 1 again starts on the 28th of June for any of you that would like to go in and learn level 1. So that's a bit about what I'm doing over the next few weeks. If you'd like to join, you can just get in touch with Illuminations and they will give you all the info that you need. So does anyone have anything they'd like to ask, say, share? No, we all good?
Ingrid, all right.
Please.
Hey, I sent you a message in the chat. I don't know if you got to see it.
Oh, sorry, I'm not able to see that right now. How can I help? What did you say?
I was curious when you were saying about the 2 masculine energies meeting at the top of the circle, when you were talking about polarities. Mm-hmm. What would you have to do if you would like to win that conflict instead of going into feminine energy and surround?
If you want to what? Sorry, I just missed the question. If you want
because you mentioned that the females who are entering the masculine energy will clash with masculine men and alpha females.
Yes.
So if that clash happens, instead of surrounding to them, how would you win that conflict?
Well, that would be the thing. By coming into your feminine, you then choose the feminine traits of getting around the conflict in a different way. If you come into your feminine, you actually disarm the masculine energy. The masculine energy automatically goes back into receptive, into non-competitive mode. So simply by coming down, what you'll find is that person who is competitive with you will now not still show you competition. So you now can move a different way to get past that person into what you want. If you stay in your masculine, there will be aggression, whether that's verbal, passive aggressive, whatever. It will be a fight in some form. But if you go, you know what, I'm just going to come around this way and use my creativity, flow, knowledge, intelligence, I'm going to come from a different angle. If you choose to stay in your masculine, of course you're entitled to do that, but just with awareness that it's going to be a masculine on masculine fight. So it's not going to be easy, and it will be the strongest of the 2 that will win, like in the, in nature.
Yeah, because I wonder, the men who are both in masculine, they stay there all the time.
Yes, that's their essence. Yeah. So this is where as women, we're really clever. We know that we can move around that, just like that rock on the river. If another rock is just going to get stuck behind it. As women, we're the water. We are just going to flow towards it, go, and then find several different ways around it and come out the other side. So a conscious man would see it and move also, but unfortunately, those are really rare. There's very few conscious men around who are aware of where their energy is. So if you are stuck with a man or an alpha female who is constantly, unmovingly in the masculine energy, you have two choices. I'm also going to stay in my masculine energy consciously with awareness, and I'm going to fight until the bitter ends and I'm going to win. You take him on as a masculine energy. Or if you don't want to go into that conflict, you have to move. One thing I really think is fun trying, when you're in an office situation where you have a lot of alpha females or a lot of competitive men, and you also are at the same level, you still have the same targets, you still want to do the same thing. Disarm all of them by asking them to help you in the most simple way. Please, will you help me and pass me that cup? Please, will you help me and pass me that pen? Just ask them to help. The other thing to do is to relax your thighs and your buttocks. Well, relaxing the entire front of our body, our thighs and our buttocks, it actually puts us into feminine energy instantly, and that disarms an aggressive masculine energy. And it's so funny to do it. Try it in non-serious situations. Like if a partner or a good friend is a little bit, quite in their masculine, try just doing it and see their reactions. They automatically soften towards us, because once we're in our feminine, we are the most attractive thing to masculine energy. They want to be with us. They want to be seen by us. They want us to adore them. And so they will do anything to get that. And that means in a competitive work situation, they will soften a bit. And then maybe that's where you'll get your move to go past them. So it's a choice. Do I stay in battle, stay in my masculine and battle, or do I move into my feminine, allow them to soften so I can find my way around to get past them? And that's how we succeed.
Thank you, Ingrid.
No worries.
Explaining that, because I think that gives me the language now to say, for example, that I'm actually interested in how to turn up my masculine energy.
Absolutely. And so we need to, in this crazy world, especially in Dubai, right? We have to be in our masculine, but knowing that we've put ourselves there and not getting caught up there. Because when we get caught up there, we are never, ever going to attract those more loving, nurturing, equal relationships. We're going to end up with really wussy men, or we're going to end up fighting with our man all the time. So it's about being up there when you need to, and then moving straight back down when you want to be in that feminine, loving relationship. So awesome. Cool. Anyone else? Lovely question. Thank you so much. Anybody else have any questions or anything to say or share?
I have a question. I'm Christy on the chat. First of all, I really enjoyed this. So good, so helpful.
Perfect.
So I really need help in with this particular subject.
Yeah.
I guess two questions. First of all, will a replay be available for this?
Oh, I do believe, so I know that Illuminations record it. So if you just send them an email, they'll let you know if they're going to be sharing it somewhere. I know a lot of the webinars are shared, but the techie side is not me. So please, just send an email to Illuminations and they'll let you know how you can get a copy for sure.
Okay, and then do you have any other maybe recommended resources on this topic?
Okay, so if you want to go deeply into the masculine and feminine, there is someone who is very much into this called David Deida, D-E-I-D-A. He's someone that I've followed for many years, and he comes from this dance of the masculine and feminine polarities. He's written several books and a lot of webinars, and there's a lot of workshops online. You'll find that for him. He goes very deeply into this subject of the dance of the masculine and the feminine, and especially relationships. He deals with relationships a lot. It's fascinating. Yeah, he's probably my go-to person. He's written a great book called It's a Guy Thing, written for women, and The Way of the Superior Man, written for men. Pretty heavy stuff, but reading both of them is super interesting.
That is great. Thank you so much. I just looked him up.
Yeah, he's amazing. He can be a little bit annoying sometimes, but but he's spot on. You know, he says very bluntly, you know, that we want to be ravished as women. And I think that's so brave for a man to say that. And it's brave that he says that men want submissive women and obedient women. You know, at first we're like, what? This is horrendous. And then you think about it and you're like, yeah, I do. I want to be submissive and obedient sometimes because, you know, when I'm at home, I want to be joy and fun and life. You know, so he said some things that are quite groundbreaking that have worked for me for sure.
Thank you.
Good, enjoy. Thank you. Anyone else? Alrighty. Okay, guys. Well, thank you all so much for joining. If you want to go deeper into this subject, please join me and Tony at our workshop on the 28th and 29th of May. It's going to be incredible. We've run this before and the feedback we got was absolutely amazing. So if that does interest you and you want to go much deeper into the masculine and feminine aspects of self and how you can use those to change your you know, the way you're living right now and create a happier existence for yourself, then maybe check out that workshop. Otherwise, you know, please come see me at Illuminations. Anyone can come and see me. 30-minute consultation is absolutely free. It's a gift for you guys. So if you want to come and chat a bit more, find me at Illuminations on JLT. Apart from that, I hope to see you again soon. I'm going to be doing a talk on crystals and on how energy healing works next month. So maybe I'll catch you at those webinars as well. All right, so thanks very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and you know, go get that inner Wonder Woman out tomorrow, and go and cause havoc in Dubai. All right, see you soon. Bye.